Fortnite loses its building. Dragalia's lost forever. Ghostbusters unleashes its spirits. And Sony buys Haven Studios. Extra, extra, hear all about it.
Hey guys, this is the podcast where bustin' makes us feel good. I am the Dean of Games. Joining me is the one, the only. You can find him on YouTube, the somber puppet James.
Sup?
He, of course, is not my only co-host. I'm also joined by twitch.tv/LMJ the Hitman, aka Landen.
What up, guys? Howdy, howdy. Hello again.
There's a distinct difference between our introductions.
Yeah, well, you know.
High energy and apathy. You gotta have that balance.
This is Extra Extra, your weekly gaming news podcast covering the news leading up to Sunday. Well, I forgot to change the date again. Sunday, March 27th, 2022. And if you like us, you can go to patreon.com/thebriefingroom. Let's get to some news. So we're going to start off with a small one. I'm not sure how much we're actually going to talk about it, because I personally don't play the game. But Fortnite's building mechanic is temporarily removed for the start of the new season. It's only going to be for 9 days, which means it ends on April 3rd.
Doubtful.
And their press release says, "Building has been wiped out. It's up to the Resistance to get it back. Jump in with your squad and help the Seven uncover the Imagined Order's nefarious plan." To compensate for not having building, players will have an overshield on top of their regular shield. And the building has not been removed for competitive or creative modes. It's only for, the basic ass mode.
Oh, well, that's not really going to affect many people then. I'd say there's going to be absolute hysteria for those 9 days if you can't tower up the second you get shot.
I personally think that they're going to try to make a version of it permanent, because I got a chance to play with my brother and my two nephews. And, well, they're not too much fans of it, which is the demographic, is, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. That is the demographic. But I very much enjoyed playing no build mode. Like, it is a lot more, I don't know, attuned to me, and the new running mechanics and mantling mechanics are great.
Yeah.
I understand why people like building, but building is why I stopped playing Fortnite in the first place.
Yeah, that's definitely not for everybody.
I was curious how the game would be affected, because, I know most people don't like the building, but I don't know what sets Fortnite apart, outside of, doing some building to save yourself compared to other similar games.
Right, that's kind of the defining feature that makes it stand out among the rest of Battle Royale games nowadays.
For sure. I guess if you take the building away, what makes Fortnite stand out, other than the pop culture and having the rock in it?
Right, it's definitely got that going for it now. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to leave that as an extra game mode to do, because, again, the building's not for everybody, and some people will opt out of it just because they don't want to get used to the ridiculous ways that people do build whenever they're getting shot at. Like, you build an apartment complex, the second anyone takes damage, it's like, well, okay, what do I do now?
For sure. Like, I mean, the chance, like, as soon as you shoot somebody out in the open, there's boom, they got an entire fortress, and that's so very, very annoying. And it makes you play a lot more tactical, which I know kids aren't familiar with, but it definitely makes you play a lot more tactical. I feel like Fortnite has the chance to, maybe they'll keep the ranks competitive with the build, but if they were to have a permanent no build mode, they can have 2 giant communities, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm not saying it would make me a permanent Fortnite player, but it would make me more interested to try it out every once in a while when they have a new season.
Yeah, it'd be a bit more accessible to that other group of people that still like the game for what it is, style-wise or pop culture or whatnot.
Yeah. Just bring back the survival mode that they originally had.
You mean like the Fortnite, the game?
The actual, like,
that no one played.
Yeah, the actual Minecraft, like, clone, because it always was a clone. It was like a Minecraft clone, and then they made it into...
I kind of enjoyed that. I never really cared for the Battle Royale. I played a few matches. It didn't really catch my interest, but I played the original game, and I actually had a decent bit of fun with it, and the base building and everything, but, like, yeah, no one knows about that now.
Yeah, when you could build without very much pressure.
Yeah. Just screw around, break some stuff with a pickaxe, and build your little base to fend off the hordes of blue zombie dudes. That was all you had to worry about.
Alright, here's another story. Dragalia Lost. Their story is ending in July, and their servers will be shut down at a unnamed date.
I'm about to be lost in this story.
So,
I don't know what this game is.
Dragalia Lost is a mobile action RPG on mobile from Nintendo. It was launched in September 2018, which is about when I tried it out. And like I said, the story ends in July, and the servers will be shut down at a later date. They said, "It is our sincere hope that you have enjoyed your experience with the game from the moment you started playing it, and we will strive to ensure that you continue to do so as long as time allows." I tried it out. It was around 2018. I'm not sure it was September, but I did try it out. And so it is an action RPG. It's very anime-esque story from what I remember. But my biggest gripe with it was that you got like 1 or 2 encounters and just started getting into the story, and then it'd be like, all right, now you got to download the next part of the story. And so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I downloaded the next part of the story. Again, it was 1 or 2 encounters, and just enough of the story to make me want to do the next part. And it's like, all right, download the next part. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not spending 10 minutes of gameplay and then downloading for 2 to 3 minutes. Like, I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah, that's a strange model to go for. Instead of just having like a bulk download size, it's like, no, down a little bit by a little bit. If you make it to this point, insert disc 2.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I forgot about those days.
Yeah.
Multi-disc.
Tales of Symphonia.
Cut it at the end of a cutscene. All right, insert the other disc. Oh,
come on. Cliffhanger.
Yeah. It's like, I'm rearing ready to go. Let's get this show on the road. And then it's like, yeah, insert disc 2. Oh, fuck. Dig through your game cases, find the disc. It's in a wrong case. You've already forgotten what the plot line was that you were following.
But they, even though like it's mostly a single player or whatever, they like had events and so forth and had crossovers. And it is the 4th mobile game now that had a crossover event with Persona 5 that's now being shut down. So Persona 5 is single-handedly ending the mobile market. Joker's stealing the hearts of the mobile developers, and they're like, we're doing shitty practices.
They've done a linear to do with the app and removes itself from your phones.
Oh.
Man, those games are just awesome, though.
Oh, the Persona games? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool. Like, especially Persona 5, like, I'll just listen to the soundtrack.
I have the soundtrack downloaded. It's part of if I ever do listen to music at work, some of the songs are going to be Persona 5 songs.
It's a nice, funky jazz with some kind of pop rock thrown in there. It's such a unique sound.
I always wanted to get into those series, and I know that I'd like those series, but my ADHD just has me popping over to game after game after game. And I think I've said this before, but I know for sure that the first playthrough is about 100 to 120 hours. That is daunting.
Yeah. And the
first, 10 or tutorial, basically.
The sucky thing...
Don't get the meat and potatoes for a minute.
The sucky thing, too, is, with Persona 5 is... there's this one place that for most of the game is completely optional. And then you get to the end of the game and they're like, no, you need to go, it's a subway. And they're like, no, you need to get to the bottom of the subway. And it's it's just a grind being in there. And it's like, why? Why'd you have to force me to go down here? I don't want to be down here.
You either passively do it with your free time throughout the game, and then you're closer to it by the end, or it's like, yeah, hey, you know this place that you said you could have gone to? Yeah, you got to go in there and 10 levels down. Just work your way through.
I honestly think,
and then you can get to where our plot's at right now.
I honestly have always said it's unnecessary padding, and that is a hot button issue apparently. Calling any part of Persona 5 padding.
I wouldn't doubt it. You got a lot of free time in the game, though. It's like, you don't do it, it's your own fault. You didn't manage your time well enough.
So that was Dragalia Lost. Most of the conversation.
Anyway.
Right. I told you I'd get lost in that story.
most of the conversation was Persona 5. That's cool. Like I said, there was nothing interesting keeping me into Dragalia Lost. There were some interesting things about the story, but not enough for me to go, all right, I'm going to download the next part. It's like, all right, I'm done. It was nothing memorable either. I couldn't tell you, I guess 4 years later, I couldn't tell you what the story was at this point. But hopefully a story I can tell you guys about after I play the game for a little bit is the new Ghostbusters game. It is being developed by Ilphonic, who also did Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds.
Not bad both those. Those are both not bad.
Yeah. It is being written by Funhouse's James and Elise Willems. And signed on to have roles in the game are Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson from the original Ghostbusters, Raul Coley, who is in iZombie and several other things, and then motherfucking Greg Miller.
That's pretty dope. His repertoire keeps growing.
Shirtless Spider-Man makes an appearance in a game again.
I forgot that he was the shirtless Spider-Man in that Spider-Man game. What a weird cameo.
It's weird until you think about how many times he's thrown on a Spider-Man mask without a shirt. he does it in real life, so it is like Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds, where it is an asymmetric multiplayer game. One player is playing as a ghost and is trying to haunt and scare civilians. Once they've scared the civilians to 100%, a countdown begins for the Ghostbusters to catch the ghost, and also as they increase their haunt meter or whatever, other freaky stuff starts to happen that can distract the Ghostbusters from the ghost. The Ghostbusters need to not only try to catch the ghost, but destroy these rifts that are around the map. And those are essentially the ghost's lives. So you can catch the ghost without destroying the rifts, but then the ghost will just appear out of one of the rifts. So you got to destroy the rifts and the ghosts. And unlike the previous games, this one apparently has a story to it. And that story is canon. It is being developed by Ghostbusters Score, which I didn't even realize is a thing that determines... they're a group that determines the canon of Ghostbusters. And it takes place after Ghostbusters Resurrection.
Okay. I didn't watch Resurrection. I planned on watching it when it came to digital, but I'm pretty sure it has, and I still haven't watched it. But I heard pretty good things about it. I'm a Paul Rudd fan.
Yeah, I'm a Paul Rudd fan too, and I also wanted to watch it. I'm not as big of a fan as other people of Ghostbusters, but I love me some Ghostbusters.
I enjoyed the movies, yeah.
There's only one or two achievements that I didn't get on the 360 Ghostbusters game, like the PS3 360 game that came out. I don't know if you remember that. That was going to be like the Ghostbusters 3, and it's still the last Ghostbusters thing that Harold Ramis had anything to do with before his death. But I did almost all of that. I've loved most of the movies. I don't necessarily hate the female Ghostbusters, but it is definitely a meh movie.
Turned it off. I turned it off.
It's definitely a meh movie at best.
I wasn't impressed. Did you guys hear that with the Ghostbusters Deluxe Edition collection that came out? The director of that movie pretty much had to beg them to include that one in the collection, and even whenever they did finally decide to add it, it was a digital download code that was optional.
Yeah, well,
damn. Well, this new movie retcons that the girl Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, it does.
For sure.
Like,
good on them.
But like, I understand that it's not the best movie, but also you're putting out a collector's edition of movies. At the time, you only had 3 movies. And you've already put out a collector's edition of the 2 movies. So it's like, you're just re-releasing some, at least adding the 3rd movie is something different, compared to what you've released before.
Yeah, he must really not have been a fan of it. Actually, I don't think he was. Original director.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, the new director of the new movie is the son of the original director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
and he was like, and if he thinks that the women one don't even be part of it, then honestly, he has every right. Honestly, to me,
yeah.
Even if it was a good movie, if he doesn't feel like it fits with his vibe of what he's trying to, or the universe he's trying to create, then sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Right.
But going back to the game, they said that they have looked. They apparently were watching Let's Plays, and they have looked at some of the problems that Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds had, where, like, sometimes it was just not fun to be a certain role on a certain site or whatever.
Yeah, like the asshats that would kill themselves and then come back as, I don't remember his name, the guy that comes back with the shotgun, and then just hunt down the other survivors and lead Jason to them.
Yeah, so they said they've looked at all of that stuff, and they are, and that's why they kind of have changed the formula. So, like, it's the 4 people that are hunting, but the one player, has lives essentially, rather than it being the 4 people are trying to escape and the one person's, they have looked at that, and they're changing the formula a bit to try to fix some of the problems with the other 2 games.
Well, that's definitely an interesting way to try to keep it from being too one-sided, given how outnumbered the ghost is going to be, and with having like the hauntings and other events that happen to distract the busters while they're doing their ghost thing.
And
should be interesting.
Some people aren't going to like it, but I love this idea. Is the Ghostbusters? They don't just run and find the ghost. You actually have to pull out one of the PKE meters from the movie, and you have to scan the area and find, and the riffs and the ghosts show up on the PKE, so you're walking around, oh, I got a hit, let's go this way,
Phasmophobia fan base is going to be all over that.
You're probably right. I gotta say that Friday the 13th was very buggy and sometimes very hard to play, but it was a great concept. And then when I played the Predator game, Proving Grounds, I believe it's called, or Hunting Grounds?
Hunting
Grounds.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
That's Tony Hawk, my bad.
Close enough.
Yeah, right. It's the same thing. It was obvious that they had listened to the feedback of their previous game, and it had definitely became a lot more fun game, a lot easier to play, and you could just tell that the feedback was there through the gameplay. There were still problems with that Predator game, though. So I can only imagine the games are going to get better and better. And honestly, I think Ghostbusters is a better IP than Predator and Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah,
definitely a more welcoming one.
A broader audience.
Broader audience, yeah.
Yeah, their games have not taken off the way the Dead by Daylight developers game took off. Dead by Daylight right now is the asymmetric multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the staple of the genre right now.
Sure is.
Did you guys ever hear of it was kind of what kicked off the whole asymmetrical thing, I think. I think it was called Dead Realms. It was made by Vanoss and Wildcats group of friends, I think.
No, I have not heard about this.
Similar style. It's there's 4 people, I think, that are in a haunted mansion or whatever map you pick, and the other person's a ghost that has different abilities, and they can interact with the environment or haunt objects and stuff. And you're trying to scare the different survivors to kill them. I think you can stop the ghost somehow, but I don't. It's been so long. That game server's been down for forever, but
well,
that was kind of what kicked it off, I think.
I'm sure you can find gameplay of it on YouTube, though.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of gameplay and stuff on there, so if you want to check that out, just a quick little YouTube search is all it'll take. But as far as playing it anymore, I don't think you can, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's I guess something I wanted to talk about with Dragalia Lost that I forgot about is, there's nothing memorable about the game, as I said, but also I am a proponent of media preservation. So I hope that someone's working, because it is a mobile game. I'm hoping that someone's working on preserving it for future generations. And of course, the phones that have the full story downloaded on them, they'll still play. So you'll